be exactly what you want to be without all of the fear around you. We have to stand up together. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of The Chairman Project with me, your humble host, Jason Sisneros. And this week, we're going to be talking about the concept of a secret room. But first off, I wanted to say thank you to everybody that I've seen on the road over the last couple of weeks. We didn't do a show last week. And, luckily, we've got a bunch of shows and interviews and whatnot in the box. So we were able to put it out on the regular channels, some other shows. But it's been amazing. You know, we've been in Seattle and Canada and Pittsburgh, and, you know, we're going to be a few more cities coming up in the next couple months. We'll keep you apprised, but it has been amazing. And we're taking out the message, the things that we talk about here every single week on the Chairman Project podcast. And it's been fun. You know, we have conversations here. You all inform me of the things that are helping you, the things that are going on in your business. Then I'm able to better address those from stages as I travel around the country. So thank you for that. Really, really appreciate it. And so let's see, I want to make sure I've got everything going here. Again, when you're gone from the studio for a while, you got to make sure all the technology is working and lined up. So we are here. This week, I want to talk about this concept of the secret room. And if you've watched any of my podcasts before, we talk about the idea that there really are no secrets, right? There really are no secrets. But as I was traveling around, having multiple conversations with business owners just like you, people that are looking to take their game to the next level, one of the things that dawned on me is if we haven't been exposed to the right information in our own lives, it could be considered a secret if we just don't know, right? They're here live every single Saturday on Twitter. We do a show, and in the audience and on stage with me, I have co-hosts, I have people that come in and we talk, and it's a great place for you to hear other people's perspectives. You know, there's just these tiny little bits of information sometimes that when you are a seeker, and that's what I find most of my audience is, because we talk about real things. We talk about your business. We talk about taking your game to the next level. And so when you talk about real business, there's not a huge audience for people that want to know information that then they can apply. Because it's in the application that there's personal responsibility. It's in the application that it goes to from a concept or a bandwagon idea or a fad or whatever it is, where it gets very real. And that very real is when you get a new piece of information and a secret has been uncovered for you. And then there's a decision that has to be made of whether you're going to take action or you're not. And so the thing I love about my audience and the people that are watching the show, the people that are live with me on Twitter right now, and getting this, if you've signed up at builttoexit.biz, there's a huge remake coming for that, by the way. It should be launched next week, so keep your eye at builttoexit.biz. The branding now is done. Everything is ready to roll for this next 3-year run of the things that we want to accomplish. But the idea is that I'm surrounded by seekers, people that are looking for those answers, that are digging, paleontologists, if you will, right? People that are digging for the concepts that then they can apply. And that takes a massive amount of personal responsibility. Saying, I'm looking for information, not information that can put me on one side of an argument or another. It's information that I can personally apply in my own life, with my own business, for my own outcomes. And so as I was thinking about this, you know, I make fun of all the time. I make fun of the idea of that there's secrets out there, because there's really not. There's nothing new under the sun is the same. And but right, there is information that you don't know, that I don't know, which is why we are seekers, right? Why we are seekers. And as I started thinking about this week's show, I started thinking about all of the secret organizations that are out there. So they're not so secret because we know the names of them, but all of the different clubs, right? The speakeasies back in the day where there was secret tapping or secret words to get in, or the Skull and Bones clubs, and different people. What those secret societies, is what they call them, really are a group of people that decided to get together for common outcomes. And that's what we are. And so I was thinking, what would be the secret code for our group? Just playing around with it a little bit, and here's our secret code from now on. Right? There's a saying in Latin. I was like, let's make this really cool. Let's make this something that truly does uncover the seekers, specifically looking for the purposes of and outcomes in their own business. And I came up with this saying in Latin: "Fini ludi exitus est." Okay, "Fini ludi exitus est," and what does it mean? The end game is the exit. Okay? The end game is the exit. Again, it's being live and being out with audiences and talking to people about this stuff. This is a piece of information that lets you into the secret room of business success, right? Business success. And so, 1, we uncover the secret. 2, that gives you a lethal advantage. And 3, it elevates you from being an amateur to being at least on the road to becoming a master. And so if we look at that secret code that you whisper at the door to be able to come into this organization, to be able to show up on Twitter, to be able to have these conversations, "Fini ludi exitus est." The end game is the exit. We know. It starts to set it up. It starts to set up the conversation in a little different way. It is an understanding, a shift in understanding that says, this thing called business that I have, everybody exits, how matters. Just knowing, no matter what, right? We had a conversation in Canada about exiting and what kind of companies that could exit. And you think about it and they're like, well, if I'm building a personal brand, really, can I ever expect to exit? And I started thinking about that question because I hadn't thought about it from that personal, how do you exit the Jason Sisneros brand, for example? How do you exit your name brand? And then you think about names like Elvis Presley. He exited, right? But there is still an Elvis Presley brand out there that has worth. Right. And who owns it? I started digging into the Elvis Presley, the company, right? The Elvis Presley estate, and the Presleys, the people, the wife, the ex-wife, and the daughter, and all that kind of stuff. They only own 15% of that brand. And there's other people that own that brand. Michael Jackson. There's people that are past. So your brand is something, your personal brand. In other words, it solidified my belief and my understanding that everybody exits, right? Everybody exits. And if you know that secret code that the end game is the exit, "Fini ludi exitus est," if you know that is the code to get in the game, now you understand the game that you're actually playing. You understand the game. Your business, your core machine that you are building, that you have decided that you have competence in. It was the thing that was at your fingertips when you decided to start a business. That thing, you fall in love with somebody else's outcome. Whatever your product and or service is, you have fallen in love with the outcome of somebody else. That's the machine that gets built, right? It's the machine that builds and delivers better than everybody else that is solving that problem in the marketplace. And it's built like a machine. Now, the second outcome is for whoever is going to own your business in the future, right? Think about that just for a second. Somebody else is going to build that, or is going to own that business in the future. Is it your kids, right? Is it the government because they're just going to shut it down? Is it your family that takes it over when you pass, right? Have you prepared it well for them? Is it going to be a private equity firm that's going to come in and buy you? Is it going to be somebody in your business? Is it going to be your employees? Who is going to buy or own your business when you no longer are there? Hi, my name is Jason Sisneros, founder and chairman of Anton J Global, a world-class business consulting company that has helped hundreds of clients and thousands of growth course students fix, scale, and successfully master their businesses. To put it simply, my team and I help people turn their businesses into machines that create cash. To better support startups and other mid-sized companies, my team and I developed a phenomenal and comprehensive digital growth course where I poured decades of business ownership and know-how into 20 hours of content. This course is not easy. It's not an easy pill, but demands real work from you to implement the blueprints that I've developed. We know that reaching financial freedom is never easy, but totally worth it. Go to growthcourse.com right now to learn more about the course and get started on your business journey today. And so getting into this secret room of being a business owner, you start to realize a couple of things. I'm going to talk about the 3 plaques, right? We know the code to be able to get in the room, but there's 3 plaques. Imagine you're walking into, you've said the password, right? You've said Fini Ludi Exodus Est, and then the door opens wide, and there's 3 plaques up on the wall. And I'm going to tell you what those plaques say here in just a second. But the understanding is that you now have 2 things that you're building your business for. Number 1, the machine itself has to be built well. It has to solve the problems for everybody else that better than anybody else in your marketplace. It has to solve those problems. And then secondly, we have to target who's going to own my business. And there's a very simple way to think about this. You build your business for the most sophisticated buyer, people who are buying companies already. We talked about this a little bit about 3 weeks ago, but the best and most sophisticated people that are in the business of buying companies are private equity firms. They're the most sophisticated. They're the smartest, right? There's 8,000 of them here in the United States. They have $1.5 trillion in the bank here in the United States, $3.2 trillion worldwide, waiting to purchase. Right? Last year, one of the slowest years in private equity in many, many years, there was 3,700 businesses purchased for about $873 billion. Okay? 1.5 trillion. We talked about the amount of time that would take. If I gave you $1 trillion and told you to go invest and you did that, you bought a business at $30 million a day, it would take you 100 years for you to be able to get rid of that entire $1 trillion. 1.5 trillion sitting in a bank account, right? Imagine pulling up your bank account and looking at your phone and going, oh, there's $1.5 trillion in there. 150 years worth of spending $30 million a day. And understand all of that money is looking for the machine that you're building. Now you know the game that you're playing. And as you prepare, right, you look at that and you go, okay, there's 8,000 of them out there that are looking. There's $10 trillion. There's $250 trillion worldwide that's looking for safe investments. We're just talking about $10 trillion worldwide that is in the form of a private equity firm. Okay. These private equity firms, they buy on average in the United States for 4,500 businesses a year, 4,500 businesses a year. And so if you understand that, you go, okay, 250 trillion, 10 trillion of that worldwide. We've got about 4 trillion of that in the United States, and with 1.5 trillion ready to go cash wise. Great. How do they buy businesses? How do they buy businesses? What are they looking for? If they buy 4,500 businesses a year, that leaves some clues for you to follow. So no matter where I am in my business, if I make a decision to say, okay, I'm going to prep up my business to be sold to the most sophisticated. Write this down. If you prep your company for the most sophisticated buyers on the planet to acquire your business, every other version of exit is available to you along that path. Every single version of exit. What do I mean by versions of exits? We'll do a whole other show that I've got built and a couple of guests that I want to bring in on that show. But the different exits. Number one, you go from being worried about starting over every single month to having 6 months, right? That's a form of exiting, right? You have systems in place. You have, you have all of these different things set up along the way. Whatever your exit is, you want to leave, you want to go, you want to keep that business, but you want to start another one. You want to keep that business and start a charity. You want to keep that business and go on vacation, but still have the business running. Every single version, explanation of exit is available if you have prepared it for the most sophisticated buyers in the marketplace. Bar none, that's private equity firms. Bar none, that's private equity firms. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about the secret code. Now you're in the door. And there's a little orientation to say, welcome to the built to exit secret room. Okay. Fini ludi exitus est. The end game is the exit was the passcode to be able to get in. And now you go, you've now gotten the briefing. You've now gotten the briefing that this is the reason, the purpose. You've been seeking how to be successful in your business. You've understand that freedom has an economic component to it no matter who you are. Freedom, choice, right? The ability for you to be able to go on to do the next thing, for you to be able to fulfill your unique destiny. At the beginning of the show, before we started this in the Twitter room, we had, talking to Sid. And Sid really doesn't think there's any competition. I agreed with him that there is no competition for your unique purpose for being on this earth. And financial freedom, the financial strength that you have, has a lot to do with what you want to do with your life personally. It can, if you allow it, take up every single magic moment in your life attempting to make money. I believe that we're given this unbelievable amount of magic moments in our life, right? We're born. God says there's going to be all of this potential for you to experience joy and innovation and service and all of those other things. And we're given this almost an unlimited choice. And so many of us, when we're amateurs in business, so many of us take those and we waste them spending time in a business and spending so much time working that we miss the purpose of being alive. My wife and I attended a funeral in the last couple of weeks. And as I sat there, I thought about all of you. I thought about myself. I thought about all of the people that I know and I love. And I was thinking, in that box, there's nothing but you. In that box, when my life is done, there's not going to be anything in that box but me. Maybe a souvenir, hopefully my wedding ring, all of the different, just the things that are important. But I'm not taking any of this with me. I'm not taking homes. I'm not taking cars. I'm not taking jets. I'm not taking, my vacation. I'm not taking anything. It's what I leave behind. And so our businesses should be a tool, right? A mechanism that we can enjoy ourselves, right? It should be something that we're passionate about. It, even if it's not, it's producing your ability to have choices, for you to be able to fulfill that outcome, for you to be able to do the things that God uniquely put you on this planet to be able to achieve. Why would we want to spend too much, an undue amount of time on a business that doesn't love us back? Now, the people can love you back. Your clients can love you back. Your wife and your kids. And those are the things that matter, because that's what's left behind. Those are the magic moments. And so this is the briefing that you're getting at the entrance of this secret room. You know the password. Now you're getting a briefing to say, you know what? You need to build your business, number one, to fall in love with the outcome of somebody else to build the machine. You want to solve a problem in the marketplace. That's going to produce some revenue. The second one is, who's going to own my business after I'm out of it, right? It's in the password. The end game is the exit. Everybody exits. How matters. It just allows a lot of things to fall away. You're now not interested in trying to impress people on Instagram or social media. That may be a strategy for you to be able to build your machine, but it's not the outcome, right? Social media is for two things: vanity or profit. Vanity or profit. Which one are you building your social media around? Right? There's all of these things that fall away because you know now that you happen to be in the secret room. Your briefing is almost done, and we're going to go around. We're going to explain in this secret room 3 plaques on the wall. Plaque number 1 that you come to is called identity. This is work. This is work that you have to do on yourself. This is work that you have to do that identifies who you are in order for you to understand what your end game is, because it's personal. I say this every single time I do this podcast, that I'm speaking to the one. I'm speaking to you. This journey starts with a very personal journey with you. And you got to know who you are, not who your parents told you are, not the world, who they tell you are, not your favorite political affiliation, not your sexuality, not your gender, none of that stuff. Who are you? You were born with a very unique outcome, a very unique purpose in this life that nobody amongst 8 billion other people has. And so getting clear on who you are and then projecting forward to what is your end game. What do you want your life to have stood for? What kind of life do you want to be able to live? What kind of service do you want to be able to add? What are you going to leave behind because it's not going with you? Your identity. And then that leads into, okay, great. I understand that making money is a part of that journey. It's building strength. So who am I going to serve? Your identity of who you are on this earth is so crucial for you to get right. And it's very, very difficult to get wrong because you know who that is. So many of us are carrying around and wearing masks day in and day out of what we want other people to see, who we really are, blah, blah, blah. All of the things are based in other people and what they think of us. So plaque number 1, the work that we have to do is getting our identity straight and then stepping into that. No matter what the consequences are of you being who you are, and traveling your own unique journey, no matter what the consequences are, that's the commitment. Because I can tell you the consequences of you living somebody else's life are disappointment. It's frustration. It's not being fulfilled. That leads to a whole myriad of other issues. But the consequences of you saying, you know what, this is who I am. This is what I want. This is what I'm going after. The consequences of that, the rewards of that, there are consequences because there's people that are around you that expect you to be the same person day in and day out. They have come up with a simple solution of who you are as an individual. And you live into that to maintain a relationship that is based on a falsehood. Not everybody and not all situations. But I just want you to hear my words and dig as a seeker into your own life and to find out where this is true. Where are you being a version that you know is not your highest and best, so that you don't lose the love of somebody who sees you other than who you really are? So plaque number 1 is identity. Not based in guilt. Not based in programming, not based in upbringing, not based in societal norms, not based in anything. Who you are. And once we get past that, we go to plaque number 2. I know who I am. Now, who do I serve? Who do I serve? We could call that in business, you call it your target audience, you call it your ideal clients, you call it whatever it is. But who do I serve specifically with the machine that I'm building called a business? Who am I serving? And with the excess and the spoils of getting that right, who do I serve with that? A lot of you that are longtime watchers of the show know that I use that in rescuing kids that are being sex trafficked. I use that for helping victims of domestic violence. I use that to help feed people. I use that to go around and do fundraisers for things that are not my top priority, but are things I care about, veterans issues, anything, children, right? Those kind of things. So your target, number one, is who do you serve with your business so that you can fill the coffers for that excess to be able to create freedom for you to be able to do the thing that you're meant to do before you leave, the thing that you want to be left behind. At that funeral, I heard lots of words and lots of things, and it was not about anything that the man accomplished, though he was an accomplished man. It was about how he loved his family, how much time he spent with them, what the special memories that made everybody laugh. Those things, because they require time. And when you build a business that is a machine, you own all your time. And you can do with it as you please. You can create those magic moments. You can see a sunset from Bora Bora. You can do whatever it is that you want. You could put millions, hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars towards something that you really care about, impacting and people that you may never meet. Are you a business owner that's looking to build your company into a machine that creates cash? I'm Jason Sisneros, chairman and founder of Anton J Global, a world-class business consulting company that has turned around, merged, or prepped for sale hundreds of companies just like yours. I'm best known as the architect when it comes to fixing and building companies across the globe. My experience comes from owning and exiting over 20 of my own companies successfully. It's that real-world experience that I've converted into the ultimate blueprint that has saved and grown my clients' businesses. If you're tired of getting bad advice, have bought all the books, all the coaching programs, and still aren't seeing the success that you were promised, it might be time to work with a team that has actual experience and a track record of success. Please scan the QR code or visit antonj.com to schedule your free 15-minute consultation to see if we can help you reach your outcomes. That's antonj.com, ANTONJAE.com. What a life well lived when you get your identity straight and you understand the target and targets of your service. And when we understand that, again, targets in a business, targets for service for your charity, targets for who's going to buy your business or who's going to take it over after you're gone, everybody exits, how matters. And then we step into plaque number 3, the how all of this gets done. Plaque number 3. This is where we lose people. This is why I don't have millions and millions and millions of people, because I know that there's not, millions, there might be, but there's not millions and millions of people that are seekers that then get confronted with the idea that they have to do the work. It's a smaller group of people. It's a smaller group of people that take personal responsibility. They get tired of listening to, this is on you, and here's some tools for you to be able to go do it yourself inside of the Built to Exit community that we've all built, but it's on you. This is where we lose people. Is plaque number 3, called a system. I say this a lot from stage, from here, whatever. Everybody say out loud, I need a system. You develop systems for you to be able to achieve what your identity tells you who you are, who you're going to service, or else it's an accident and you are necessary. If you build a machine that solves a problem for many, many people and you're required to be there, you are still an amateur. That's okay. That's okay because you've just been invited into the secret room. It's okay. You come in. I came in. Most of the people that I know go into the secret room as an amateur, and they're confronted with truths that have been around since the first chicken was traded for the first cow. So what are you doing to build systems in your life? What systems are you using? And yes, built to exit system is one of the greatest ones that exists on the planet for business owners. But I'm talking about systems in everything. How are you keeping yourself healthy? How are you keeping your relationships joyful, happy, fulfilling? What are your systems for your own levels of joy? What are your systems for filling up your purpose, your outcome, your service? What systems do you have in place? And let me tell you something that was a wake-up call for me. Is that even if you don't have a system written out, you can follow, you can modify, all those other kind of things. Even if you don't have that system, you have a system. And guess what? How you identify how well that system is working for you is you look at your relationships. You look at your health. You look at your vitality. You look at your bank account. You look at those things. And you say, oh, this is what my system that I didn't choose, that has just kind of magically appeared because of repetitive behavior, not seeking, not taking responsibility for my own actions. This is what the outcomes are that are being produced by the system that I didn't consciously choose. These are the results. Are they the results that you want? Are they your ultimate results? Are they the results that you dreamed for yourself as a child? If they're not, you better get serious about these 3 plaques. Story after story after story of the people that I have come across before I even knew myself, my own story. A lot of you know it, so I'm not going to repeat it here. But a lot of you know that this thing called business has allowed me to be closer. I'm nowhere near the final version of who Jason Sisneros is, thank God. But I can tell you I'm much further away because I understood this secret. I got in on accident. I learned the secret on accident because I was a ruthless seeker of truth. I was a ruthless acceptor of personal responsibility. I got beat up on it by life in ways that would crush most people, as have you. Had to learn those lessons the hard way, just like you. Had to have people leave me that I loved. Had to lose everything. Had to be hungry. Had to have no money. Had to have no home. Had to go through a divorce. Had to go through all of those things. When all of that time could have been better spent knowing that I'm here to serve. I'm here every single Saturday serving at the highest level that I know how for all of y'all. Some of you have bought the Built to Exit system. Some of you haven't. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me if any of you spend any money with me ever. We have a community called the SME community, small and mid-sized enterprises, that has to survive and thrive for the one to have the opportunity to be able to craft and to be able to go through the work and to be able to get into the secret room and to be able to look at those 3 plaques and to be able to do the work. Because I truly believe it's the merchants. I use that word a lot. It's an old school word. But as I look back through history, it's the merchants that change the world. It's the merchants that end up becoming politicians that actually make things work for the better because they understand human nature. They went through this training ground to understand that ethical capitalism is what changed the world because of the behaviors, because of the choices, because of the sacrifices, because of the humility that it forces on everybody who owns a business. You find a cocky, out of control business owner who's a chest thumper that's waving around all of their worldly shit. I will show you a business owner that is moments from being bankrupt. Ethical capitalism does not exist in the heart of its practitioners unless humility has been earned. Humility is earned by being beat up by life, by making bad decisions that bring you to your knees sometimes, and figuring out, oh, that was my system. Is there another system? Is there another way to behave? Happened with me. Life kicked my ass and I had a choice. Blame it, become a victim, or learn the lesson. And thank God I learned the lesson. Still learning, still have a long way to go. But man, I believe that being in this secret room has created a lot of opportunity, as it will for you. So identity, uncover your purpose, align with your vision, and develop and commit to self-mastery. Number 2, understand your targets. Aim high, set ambitious, because again, the thing that you think is ambitious is going to be something that is in your rear view very shortly. Navigate that target and understand strategically who you're here to serve and how you're serving them at the highest level. And a system. Establish your foundation. Build a robust, scalable infrastructure to support your business growth, your physical health growth, your joy, your relationships. Then implement, execute, understand it's your personal responsibility. Nobody else's. And by the way, a little extra secret plaque for you. You have no competition. I have this conversation with Emily, my wife, quite often, where I tell her how embarrassed I am for living damn near 40 plus years of my life, thinking that I was competing and then seeing what happened during a pandemic and realizing that most of the world are followers and sheep. Watching people crumble in the face of the first adversity that they probably have ever faced. You have no competition. This is the day and age. You learn these secrets. You get them, but it comes down to execution, doing the work, learning the right systems, learning the right things, executing, putting yourself in an environment around what I believe is the greatest business community on planet Earth is the built to exit community. People that hold themselves responsible, people that support each other, people that are doing business with each other, people that learn from each other, people that have the seeker's heart and go to this piece, this magic piece called execution. That gives you a lethal strategic advantage in this world. Lethal. What I mean is for you to kill it in your own life, for you to crush it, for you to be able to achieve that freedom, that then whatever you're here to serve, that next level, there's more people, there's more suffering that you can ease in the world. You start to realize the less you make it about yourself, the better and more powerful you are. The less times you use I and me and it's about me and I'm the one and blah, blah, blah. It's about them. It's not about you. It's not about me. We're here to serve. And the greatest version of us is in service and has the self has damn near disappeared. The constant need for outward justification, validation disappears because the results are in other people for having known you, for having been in your presence, from having learned from your systems, from having experienced your love, from having experienced time and your presence or your words or your wisdom. The less us in the formula, the closer you are to your destiny. It gives you a lethal strategic advantage for those of you that understand the secret. Clarity of purpose, unparalleled execution creates unstoppable momentum. So welcome to the secret room. I hope you keep coming back because we have great conversations every single week. We have great results that are happening. Just come and meet people. Come to the live part of Twitter. I know a lot of you are watching the replays. There is nothing like being in the room with the Built to Exit community. Nothing like it. We're building a piece of technology that we're going to be able to do this more often and with each other and start. I really, again, my 5-year plan here is for us to be able to have a group of people in business that hangs out together, our community, our ethical capitalists who are combining together for us to be a movement. Right now, I got to get all of you building your businesses to exit. I don't care what your exit level is. It doesn't matter. It matters to me. But what I'm saying is it doesn't, your outcome, it's for the one, it's your specific outcome. And I want you to be able to achieve that so that we can be more of a force together. So you have more time, so that your brilliance can be spread over more, activist type behaviors and activities, so that we keep each other free, so that we can pass this on, not be the first generation to leave things worse for our children, but to be and pick up the mantle like many generations before us, where we hand over a world that is better, more prepared, more opportunity, and better loving and better service and easing suffering than the generation that came before us. That's the call on our lives. The business that you own is the tool. Built to Exit system is the system. It's a system that'll help you. That will help accelerate that journey. So thank you again for being with us. Thank you for watching the show. Thank you for spreading it. Thank you for sharing it with other business owners that need to hear this as well. Right? Thank you for all of the momentum that we're experiencing. Thank you. This Built to Exit brand is my opus. It's the thing that I believe is going to take all of my pain and suffering from my entire life, and it's going to make it better for every single business owner. If you're a business consultant, if you're a business coach, you want to get better at what you do and not be a plumber, you want to be an architect, we're teaching it. Take my stuff. Go do a better job for your clients. We need more people. 33 million companies in the United States. They need help. Way more millions in the world. They need help. We've got people with B2X going into other countries now. So welcome. Thank you. I appreciate you. We'll see you again next Saturday, 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. every single week. We're going to end the live here on the video, but just know we're going to go into what I consider the most important part, which is the conversations. We're going to talk about their businesses. We're going to find out what was great about this episode, what we can do to improve. You just come and interact. It's super important that we all do this together. I'm Jason Sisneros. Until next week, crush it. Welcome to the Secret Room.